The rapid construction of fuel stations in Harare has sparked a wave of concern among residents and authorities, prompting action from the Environmental Management Agency and legal recourse from affected communities. Last year, the Environmental Management Agency intervened by halting the construction of at least 10 proposed fuel station sites in Harare. This move came in response to complaints lodged by residents. Former Harare East legislator Alan Rusty Markham expressed strong disapproval of having fuel stations located in the middle of residential areas, deeming it unacceptable.
This is becoming a major issue in Harare, not just where we are. I deal a lot with residents in our neighbouring constituencies as well, like Highlands, Mount Pleasant, Sunningdale. And the issue is we're getting so many service stations being planned and put in right next to residential houses. We can't have that. And there's so many, the density of the service stations is outrageous. What should happen is the city of Harare should be considering how many service stations are allowed and how far apart. We can't have service stations in the middle of residential areas. It's just not acceptable, and the residents are complaining tremendously about this. The drive for stations is very simple. It's money driven, so therefore it's very profitable. Of the 5 that I'm dealing with right now, who did they consult? We want to see those papers. There's a paper run by the city of Harare called The Circulation that goes through all the people. We want to see who the people they consulted, and you'll find that there is very few, especially of the immediate residents.
In 2023, Dr. Tafadzwa Muguti, the former Harare Metropolitan Provincial Secretary, emphasized the necessity of engaging with residents and obtaining their consent before greenlighting any developments, in accordance with the Regional Town and Country Planning Act. Mrs. Amkela Sidange, the Environmental Management Agency's Environmental Education and Publicity Manager, emphasized the importance of sustainable farming, which involves environmentally sound practices that are economically viable and protect public health. Highlands residents mobilized a petition opposing the construction of a commercial complex which included a fuel station. Residents in Alexandra Park have initiated a class action suit against Redan Kerosene over the construction of a fuel station in the suburb. Similarly, in Ward 17, Avondale residents are contesting the construction of 3 proposed fuel stations within a 500-meter radius, citing concerns over congestion and the potential negative impacts on their neighborhood.
What I can assure the residents is that as the agency, we are equally seized with the safety of the public as well as the environment. So wherever there is any project development, especially if it's a prescribed development according to the Environmental Management Act, Schedule 1, we always encourage for the environmental impact assessment to be done. And it is this tool that then we use to make a decision. And what I need to assure the public is that the EIA certification or decision making doesn't only lie with the Environmental Management Agency, but it does take an all-government approach, as all different departments are also involved in the compilation of the EIA report. It will be difficult to possibly determine that or make a conclusion on that, because it's not within the purview of EMA, especially looking at the construction of service station. But what I can possibly say is that for as long as the service station they are then certified, they have an environmental impact assessment for EMA, then we are quite happy, because we'll be knowing that through the EIA all the possible negative impacts, environmental impacts, would have been in a way avoided.
Harare Mayor Jacob Mafum stressed the need for a coordinated approach with the government and other stakeholders to review the zoning of businesses, particularly fuel stations, in the city. The proposed fuel stations, particularly those planned for Argyle Road, have evoked strong objections from residents due to the area's existing heavy traffic volumes.
It would appear service station those avazviuta zvemazuva Zimbabweans, when something comes into fashion, they all want to do that particular activity. For some reason, everyone thinks if they have a fuel station, they will make money. So zviuta zvemazuva ano. So sometimes you allow market forces to deal with such things. If they are unsustainable, then the market will reveal itself. However, we will not wait just for the market to reveal itself. I think we need to have a complementary approach with government and the owners of those properties and the zoning of businesses, so that we can agree with the residents the number of activities that can be done in a particular area. So what we might need to do, or what we might have to do, is to come up with that kind of regulation or standardization or consultative process, that every particular district will agree on the number of schools, number of churches, and number of service stations, and any other business for that matter that can occur in that area. If we leave it to market forces, we might have things mushrooming much to the detriment of the quality of life for some particular neighborhoods.